Look up. The sky above you feels endless, calm. You know nothing could possibly fall from it. But on June 30th, 1908, the sky exploded over Siberia. You wouldn't have seen it coming. A blast brighter than the sun, a shockwave that circled the planet twice. 80 million trees flattened in a single second, and no one has ever found what caused it. Let's go back to that morning, minute by minute, and find out what hit your planet. It's June 30th, 1908. 6:50 in the morning. You're standing on the edge of the stony Tunguska River, deep in central Siberia. Around you, an endless forest of pine and birch. This place is so remote that the nearest village is over 60 kilometers away. The closest city, Krasnoyarsk, is nearly 700. There are no telegraphs out here, no newspapers, no cameras, just the Evenki people herding their reindeer the way their ancestors always have. The sun rises slowly over the taiga. Birds wake up. A light breeze. It is the last calm morning this forest will ever know. At 7:14 a.m., something appears in the eastern sky. Witnesses across hundreds of kilometers see the same thing. A blue-white fireball moving faster than any bird or comet anyone has ever described. It is bright, almost as bright as the sun itself. In the village of Vanavara, 60 kilometers from where you stand, a farmer named Semyon Semenov sits on his porch. He sees the sky split open. For one strange second, he feels heat, as if his shirt is about to catch fire. Then, the world breaks. A blast in the air far above the forest. No crater, no falling rock, just an explosion in the sky, with the force of more than 1,000 Hiroshima bombs. Semyon is thrown 6 meters from his porch. The trees around him bend like grass. The shockwave races outward in every direction at hundreds of meters per second. It will circle the entire planet. Not once, twice. Barometers in London register the pressure wave. Seismographs in Irkutsk record the earthquake. But the strangest thing happens later that night. Across northern Europe, the sky refuses to go dark. In London, in Stockholm, in Moscow, people lift their newspapers and read them at midnight by a sky that glows like dawn. It is as if the sun had risen twice in the same day. Nobody yet understands why. Back at the epicenter, the forest is gone. Around 2,000 square kilometers, bigger than the city of Tokyo, are flattened. 80 million trees lie on the ground, all pointing away from a single invisible center. But there is something even stranger. News of the event barely escapes the wilderness. The Tsar's government is busy with crisis. World War I is approaching. The Russian Revolution is coming. For 19 years, almost no scientist sets foot in the area the Evenki tell stories. They say the god Ogdi came down from the sky in fire to destroy the forest. The rest of the world simply forgets. Until a single Russian mineralogist decides to find out the truth. His name is Leonid Kulik. The year is 1927. Kulik believes a giant iron meteorite fell from the sky. He wants to find the crater. He wants to find the iron. He has good reason to think so. Just 6 years earlier, scientists had found the Hoba meteorite in Namibia, 60 tons of solid iron. If Tunguska was bigger, the prize would be incredible. Kulik organizes an expedition. It takes weeks. The taiga is brutal. Bogs, mosquitoes, freezing rivers. When he finally reaches the forest, he expects a hole in the ground. What he sees stops him cold. Picture standing there, an ocean of fallen pines stretching to the horizon in every direction, every single trunk pointing outward, like spokes on a giant wheel of wood. At the very center, the trees are still standing, stripped of their branches, bark scorched, but upright. Kulik searches for the crater. There is no crater. He searches for fragments. There are no fragments. He digs into the soil. There is no impact site at all. Whatever had struck the Earth had left no body. He returns home, confused. He returns again and again. He spends decades searching. He dies during World War II, still without his answer. The mystery of Tunguska escapes into the world. If it was a meteorite, where was the impact? If it was a comet, why were no fragments ever found? Without proof, imagination takes over. Some scientists suggest a small comet made of ice, completely vaporized on impact. Others propose a tiny black hole passing through the Earth. A few suggest a chunk of antimatter from deep space, annihilating against our atmosphere. One theory blames Nikola Tesla, claiming he was testing a long-distance death ray at the time. Another claims an alien spaceship exploded over the forest. Each theory is exciting. None of them quite fit the evidence. Then, slowly, modern physics catches up. Computer simulations in the 1990s and 2000s begin to crack the puzzle. They reveal something extraordinary. An asteroid or a small comet around 50 to 60 meters wide entered Earth's atmosphere at 30 kilometers per second. The friction was overwhelming. The pressure in front of the object multiplied by hundreds of thousands of times. About 6 to 10 kilometers above the ground, it could no longer hold itself together. It vaporized in a single, immense flash. The energy was released as heat and shockwave, but the rock itself was gone before it ever touched the ground. This is called an airburst, and it explains everything. The broken forest, the missing crater, the standing trees at the center. The blast came from above, vertically downward all at once. The trees beneath it lost their branches but kept their roots. Everything around them was pushed outward. For more than a century, Earth had been hiding a small piece of cosmic violence in plain sight. Tunguska did not just leave a flattened forest behind. It left a question that has shaped modern science. If something this big can happen once, when will the next one come? Today, NASA and its partners run a system called Planetary Defense. Telescopes around the world scan the sky every night, hunting for objects that cross Earth's orbit. More than 30,000 have already been cataloged. In 2013, the world got a small reminder. Over the Russian city of Chelyabinsk, a 20-meter object burst in the atmosphere, releasing 30 times the energy of Hiroshima. Windows shattered for hundreds of kilometers. Over 1,500 people were injured by flying glass. A smaller Tunguska in the age of cameras. Scientists estimate that a Tunguska-sized event happens about once every few centuries. Most strike the ocean, some the wilderness, but the next one might not. Look up again. The sky above you is still calm, still endless, still quiet, but it isn't empty. Right now, thousands of unseen objects are passing through it. Most we know about. Some we don't. The 1908 forest never saw what was coming. We are still working to make sure we do. So, here is my question for you. If a forest can be destroyed by something that never even touched it, what other forces around us are silently powerful and we cannot yet see? Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you want to keep exploring how our world really works, subscribe and come with us on the next journey. The sky still has so many secrets left to tell.